nitro, upgrading and just taking purse. Then I built the whip, got the upgrades. Shout to all the guys who been here since the video, my crib. Then I drove the track. If you seen that video, then you know that's my kid.
Welcome back to the channel, Joey Nitro RC, and today we're going to be having some fun with some 1/10 on-roads.
So here's the deal. We have two HPI bodies, but honestly, only one is an HPI. You see, under the Toyota Celica body, we're featuring the epic 1/10 Nitro Serpent Impulse Street spec. But hold on, there's more. Sporting the Honda NSX racing body is the 1/10 HPI RS4 EVO 3, the last version of the Nitro RS4. Two epic Nitro RCs, both with racing DNA, but very different as well. The HPI RS4 is four-wheel drive and shaft-driven. Featuring a two-speed transmission, it's powered by the HPI T3.0, the on-road counterpart of the G3.0. It has an alloy-tuned pipe, pull start, and racing foams. The Serpent, however, is a single-speed street racer, belt-driven and powered by the much-revered .12 Nova Mega engine manifold and tuned exhaust. Its sealed backplate means it started on a bump box, and its angled shocks match its yellow rims and racing foams.
So that is the focus of today's video. Both of these cars have a very similar problem, which I will show you in a minute. And the Honda body here from the RS4, the wing at the corner there needs a slight bit of repair. Yesterday I changed the wheels on this RS4. I put brand new foams on, and the Impulse, the Serpent Impulse, has got foams on also, but both of them, funnily enough, have a similar problem which we will try to address. So I don't know if you can see, guys, the clearance there from that tire and wheel to this here. There's a lot of clearance there, but on the other side it's actually very slightly rubbing. Now the geometry of this is set exactly the same, so I'm not exactly sure why this is happening. If any of you guys know why it's happening, please let me know. But similarly with the Serpent, we can see that it has clearance here, but over here it's actually rubbing also. So I don't know whether to take a little bit of material off this. I don't want to weaken it, so we will see. And with this, I'm thinking I can grind the inside of the wheel a little bit to give that clearance. It's not terrible, and both of them work actually like they are. It's just a bit annoying, and so I thought we'd address it. Then we will get them both started up, give them a little bench tune, and then we'll take them both for a rip. So whatever you do, don't go away. Okay, so I've done a previous repair on this. I actually filled both of these little mounts here up with a hot glue and pressed in the nut and the screw. This side worked perfectly. This side just didn't, because there was just too much damage, and it just didn't sit in there. So what I am going to do is I am going to use some Loctite epoxy putty, and I'm going to stick a piece of that in there and then just push the nuts back in there, and that should just dry it rock hard, and it should be a fairly good repair. And see how it goes. Okay, there is the repair. When I put the putty into that hole and then pushed in the nut and the screw, it actually pushed the epoxy putty out into the pre-existing cracks in the body, and it's actually filled those voids. So potentially this could be quite a good little fix. Obviously the color is off, but I can sort of match that in probably with just a pen or something. I mean, it's not that obvious where it is anyway. So I'm going to leave it like that. I'm pretty happy with that repair, and now we can address the wheels. So the next job is to try and fix this little bit of a rubbing issue. I think on this one I'm just going to try and reduce the width of the inside of this wheel and tyre. So I'm going to grind the plastic on the wheel and tyre. I don't really want to start grinding parts of the actual car itself. The wheels that were on here before fit fine and don't rub, so there's no point in me messing with this piece. I'm just going to try and take a little bit of material off from the inside of the wheel. I didn't bring all the pieces that I need for this, so I'm going to try and do it with this wheel, which isn't ideal, but we'll have a go. I just removed a little bit of material from that C-hub joint there, so hopefully it's actually improved it a lot. It's no longer feeling grindy and rubbing, it's rolling freely. So, you know, not the best repair in the world, but it'll be fine. These tyres are fine. They've got loads of well, they're brand new, so they can afford to lose a little bit. Anyway, that's that one. Now, do I do the same thing to the Serpent? Okay, so I've also done it to this side. I was very careful, and I took the very thinnest of snickets off, but it is no longer making contact, so I'm pretty pleased. The thing with these belt driven cars is there's always quite a lot of tension in the drivetrain. They don't roll as easily as shaft driven cars, so sometimes it feels like the brakes are engaged or there's another problem. But in my experience with these belt drivens, you always get some sort of resistance when you're pushing them backwards and forwards. So anyway, I'm pretty happy with what we've done. I actually did think to myself, guys, that if the hexes that go inside here and the wheels lock onto, if they were of a wider diameter, it would push the wheel out slightly and away from this in here. So that's something I'm definitely going to look into for both of these, because definitely if the width of the hex is wider, it'll give you a little bit more clearance. Anyway, this one is a bump box, this one is a pull start. Let's get it on. So let's put some fuel in, 25% nitro I'm running in this now. These things have got such tiny little tanks compared to the 1/8 monster trucks. Okay. Well, that did not last long. Unfortunately, I hit a curb with this wheel and it popped this link off the C-hub, also the bottom one here, and the dog bone came out. I found all the bits, put it all back together, popped them all in fine, but it's damaged the servo, and now Can you see it stuttering? So it's really undrivable. You can drive it like this, but it makes it pretty much uncontrollable, and I do not want to cause any more damage, so it's Serpent time. So this is the Serpent. It's really, really nice. Going nice. Drives lovely, this does. Ooh. Runaway. You know, in this hobby, some days you just get those days where everything seems to fight you, and that was definitely one of these days. I don't know if I caught the footage, but I'll put it in if I did. But we just had a runaway with this. I'll show you what happened. So this runs off a battery pack, and unfortunately this was pre-wired into the wiring loom of this car. The only place to really put it safely is between the servo here and the fuel tank. Now it's in there and it's pretty tight, it's not very loose, and I also zip tied it, but it hit the curb, bounced off of this bumper, and that just spat the batteries. It was on probably half lock, and so it started going around in circles, bouncing off the curb, but eventually it sort of came to a stop by the curb, and I managed to like get hold of it and shut it down. And there's absolutely no damage, which is lucky. This bumper absolutely saved its life. So yes, guys, there we go. We fixed some bits, we broke some bits, and we did a little bit of running, like a mix. And that's what I've said in many of my other videos. This hobby is a mix of everything. As for driving experience, this thing, this Serpent Impulse Street Spec drives, in my opinion, a lot better than the RS4. It's a lot smoother. Obviously, it's got a much smaller engine, but the power delivery on it is beautiful. The control of it is better, I would say. Yeah, so there we go. So if you enjoy this kind of content, please consider watching another one of my videos, which will come up on the left and the right on my end screen. Also, if you press my logo slightly above center, it will subscribe you to the channel, and I would be very, very grateful. So chuck us a comment, chuck us a like, tell us what was your favorite, what do you like? I know the RS4 is a big favorite with a lot of people, but this little thing, it's pretty good. Anyway, guys, as always, thank you so much. Those who know Nitro, and I'll catch you on the next one.
It's your boy, Joey Nitro. Yeah, Joey Nitro.